Thank you for joining us again for another great episode. What I want to say is Happy New Year to everybody here.
Yes.
Everybody who's also live joining us. Happy New Year. I hope everything, at least the year started off good for everybody. I know it did for me.
6 days in, it's already been woo
Yeah, it's
in the
moving
world.
fast.
Oh yeah, it'll be December before we know it.
So this year's gonna be different from how it was last year for sure. And what I want to do, this is gonna be a season 1 of this year, and this season we're gonna be talking about personal development in different ways. So today we got a great show for you guys. Today we'll be touching a little bit on some goals and how we can achieve them. What are some people's goals here, and so y'all get the chance to see what those are, and in a way I think it help us to be I wouldn't say easier, but another way to keep everyone motivated. So, but the start off, what kind of goals you got?
Me? Oh, I gotta go first.
Yeah, I'm just gonna jump to you. How about that?
For this year, definitely weight loss. Because last year went to the doctor and they told me I'm pre-diabetic, so I want to get that under control and travel more.
Ebony, you
As always, be the best me.
be the best you.
Yep, that's all I got.
I think you always do that, so I don't think you have nothing to worry about. That'd be easy.
I know, right?
What about well, since you and I would be going to talk about goals, what's the first goal that you have? What's the first goal you want to achieve this year? Even it could be the ones that you just mentioned. That's probably like overall in the year, or what about maybe some smaller goals?
Smaller goals. Really, right now, I don't have any small goals. My main focus is my health, so
Okay.
that's really what I want to focus on.
Like when you say your health, so what do you plan to achieve first? Because I'm sure you said you have to go to the doctor, right? Mm-hmm. So you're going to have some follow-up appointments. They're going to give you, say, hey, maybe within the next 90 days, we want to see if you can lose so much weight. Mm-hmm. Are you going to change your diet? Are you just going to exercise more? Those are, I guess, some little goals. You think of a goal on a grand scheme, but you can break them down to smaller things to get you to that bigger goal. So
mainly getting up 4:00 in the morning and going to the gym. Yeah.
4 o'clock in the morning. That's tough. I've done that before. It is not.
It's definitely
I'd much
hard.
rather work out later in the day than that early in the morning.
But I can tell you the type of work that I do when I get off work, I'm not going to want to work out. So,
hey,
morning
like
is
you
the
got
best
okay.
for me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You got membership?
that I paid $25 and been
And
giving
you
them
don't
my
you
money
come
for
on
over a year.
Well, see, there goes your goal this year.
Yeah,
Is to not waste money.
correct. That part, yes.
That's funny. I know. A goal for me is definitely to get out of my job and get something that's different, so I can really put more time to this and other things that I'm working on for myself. So it's been a struggle, but we looking. Probably try to get to maybe into sales. I've been talking about getting into some type of sales for the longest time, and I'll make every excuse to not. So that's what I'm looking into now. Mm-hmm. Just start off the year, just getting getting past. I guess you could say you can call fear.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing for sure is procrastination has got to stop.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I am bad about that.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, that's something I want to ask you guys too. What is a bad habit that you think you guys could work on that would hinder your goals or achieving your goals?
For me, buying junk food. Because every time I go to the grocery store, I pick up chips.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really not a bad habit, but I should be picking up healthier items instead of like Doritos and ice cream and chocolate chip cookies.
Yes. So you can bake them on salt.
That's just something that every time I go to the grocery store, that's something I'm picking up, but
right,
picking up healthier options.
I mean, you can try maybe every time you see the aisles, just not even go in there, because as soon as you go in the aisles, it's got you.
But see, with the cookies, you got eggs over there. You got your
you trying to say it's some healthy items on
you
the
got
aisle?
your orange juice down there.
Some yogurt.
So I have to go down that aisle.
I got a solution for you, right? So
Please help
when
me.
you pick up the cookies, right? So they come in this 12 or 24 pack, depending on the size you get, right? Mm-hmm. Don't ask me how I know. I know. Get little baggies and divide them out. So divide. Didn't we have an episode where Dom told me I could have 6 cookies?
Oh yeah,
y'all remember that episode?
Right.
So divide your cookies out into realistically, divide your cookies out into like 3. Put them in.
I like even numbers.
Okay, well, divide them into 2, so you got your bag. Divide them into 2. So put them in 2 in little Ziploc bags, and therefore you pull them out one by one. So therefore you're not making 4 or 6, in my case 6.
But what if I go in there and be like, oh, I could pull out 2 more?
No, just focus on the 2.
That's the whole point of putting them in baggies. So it's one baggie a day.
One baggie a day. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So therefore, you can still
at least minimize your habit, and then it might change completely later on. You just never know, or you just might be good with that. But as you change the rest of everything else when it comes to your diet, when taking like processed food or a lot of processed food out, taking a lot of fried food out, out of your diet, that'll help a lot. And probably, I would say, less red meat and no pork.
I try to stay away from pork anyway, but yeah, the fat doctor gave me a list of stuff that I need to incorporate, so definitely gonna do that.
No, like I said, you can just let me know what the list is, send it to me, whatever. We can figure it out. Some type of meal plan in some way that'll be helpful but easier for you. 'Cause, I mean, you only need, what, 2-3 hours out of one day, or maybe out of the week, to actually prep everything for the next week. So I mean, it doesn't take long, but it'll help with time. Because throughout the week, as I know, your schedule is you got a busy schedule. So it'll help if you already have things you can just pick up that's already cooked, made, and you don't have to worry about what can I get that's healthy. Because sometimes you don't have, it's hard to make those choices when you're in a rush but you need to eat.
Right.
So if you already have those meals ready and just there for you, then you can just go ahead and pick up. You ain't got to worry about nothing that's secondhand at that point.
Right.
And you'll be just, and that already your body is going to answer to a lot differently. You'll start growing your metabolism back, and then that's where you're going to have your body's going to learn a routine of when to eat, and your cravings are going to change too. Because once you start eating more like quality food and stuff like that, your body's or your taste buds, that's what's going to want. So you're going to be almost on a way forced to cook anyway. But just like with anything, you have to be consistent.
Right.
I know that's one thing. I know one thing like that I learned from last year, that I know I would start something, and then as soon as I got to a certain point, I'd be like, find some stupid excuse to not do it, or keep looking for more information when all the information is there. You just kind of got to put in the what's not, kind of put in the read between the lines kind of thing, which is not hard. It's just you just gotta get out of your head and just do it.
Right. Well, you actually, between y'all actually touched on a lot of things that are key, in a sense, key points on how to achieve your goals for the year. Dom just talked about building habits, staying consistent. So, once you build habits, or what they say, it's about 14 days to build a habit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, about
It's either 14 or 21 days that'll build a habit. So staying consistent during
I
that
think it's
time.
21.
It may be 21 because I didn't hit 14 before and been like, bump this.
So we got to 14. It was like
Day 14, I don't think I can do this.
Right.
So you definitely want to make sure that you're being consistent and building habits. But once you build those habits, continue on. What else did you say? We said about I was telling you about setting your smaller goals, doing those measurable goals. You want to make sure that you're setting smaller goals. But one of the things as well is celebrating the small goals. Celebrating, okay, I only ate them 2 cookies today. When you go to sleep, you're like, dang, I only ate 2 cookies today. Look at me. Go me. That's a celebration. You cut back, or your water intake increased. I've seen those water bottles where they try to give you little motivational quotes as you go. Celebrate that, especially if that's not something that you're accustomed to. So
it's the little wins that really do it for you. But if you actually take the time. If you actually take the time to actually appreciate the little win instead of just looking at the big picture, like, I'm not there yet, that's just what's going to kill you, and it's going to kill you at the end. As soon as you start talking negative like that, that's something that I've been learning, not proudly, but something that I've been learning, like, when you just focus on that, you automatically lose interest because you get stressed out, you get overwhelmed,
right,
and then you give up.
Right. And one of the things they had on here is practice self-compassion. Be compassionate. Come on now. You know that at some point you may have a bad day. You may have a setback. But be easy on yourself.
Right.
Be hard on yourself, but be easy on yourself when you do have a bad day. So that you're not tempted to say, well, I done screwed this up, I might as well just forget about it. No, you don't want to have that mindset. You want to stay, like you said, stay positive. Be gracious on yourself. So, one other thing is that
I was gonna say, it just kind of goes along too, having just being confident,
right?
And like you said, yourself, or just whatever is in front of you. Don't tell yourself you can't, or I don't know, because then you're already doubting yourself. So at that point, you're already declining your own ability of what you can and cannot do.
Right. And one of them on here is be flexible, and I think that's big, especially when you have a busy life. You have to be flexible. Stuff is going to come up. Stuff isn't going to go the way that you want it to go, and all of that. So you have to be okay with something changing, because you're making a change within yourself, right? So you have to be okay with whatever setbacks come from it. And then you want to make sure you make a task list and prioritize what your tasks are. I think that's an important one, because I know a lot of people have gotten into like journaling and writing stuff down. For me, I find that it helps me. So if you make a task list, or, what your goal is for the day or for the week or for the month, all right, out of these goals, what's my number 1 priority? What's my number 2 priority? even if I'm staying flexible. Okay, number 2, I didn't knock that out first. Okay, but now I can go back to number 1 and align that up. So those are some little key points that as you're making your goals and figuring out, because as you said before, you don't have, time is short, but as you have all this time, make some goals, make a list, prioritize them, get them together. Help things smooth out a little bit better.
I was gonna ask too. What do you think would be good ways to help you plan to actually, I guess, plan out your journey?
More so just having the time, because working 12-hour days is like a lot. But
It's tough. I work 12-hour days.
I don't know. I guess on the weekends, I can, when I do have some free time, making that list to help me through the week.
Yeah, because it's. I know for me, like when it comes to like things that I don't want to do, we make excuses, and we put this like, oh, it's gonna take so much time. Really only takes 10 minutes.
Right.
And once you start, I guess it becomes second nature.
Yeah, and that's kind of like, what you had mentioned about kind of building that habit when it takes about 21 days, 3 weeks to do something consistently, to where it's that secondhand nature is really starts to kick in. Like I said, once you attain those habits, everything becomes easier. But even with harder challenges, it's almost like you gave yourself a baseline how to get there. And that's just with anything. Even when it comes to business, your personal, you have things that happen in your past that a lot of people use as excuses as well, to where, oh, I can't do this because because my parents says this, or I was taught to not think this way, blah blah blah. That doesn't make that just because you have somebody's opinion basically control yours doesn't mean you can't change that.
Definitely.
And that's something for me that I had to learn. I learned so much from last year. But that's one thing that I had to learn too, is that it's, you have to believe in you regardless of what other people say, because once you hinder on the fact that it's everybody's opinion or their perspective. It doesn't have it's just words that doesn't really mean anything unless you allow it to.
Right.
Because whatever your journey is, somebody else is gonna have use nine out of 10 has a different
excuse me, I'm sorry.
Has a different path or purpose in life. So you can't necessarily expect everyone or anybody sometimes to even have an idea or understand like where you're coming from, or where you're or how you're getting to that destination.
Right.
Why you look at me laughing, bro?
That face you just made me.
I'm trying to look good for the camera.
Yeah, he did. He tried to. I looked at the camera, looked at him, and he's doing a model pose. Really? That's what I was like. Okay.
That's called presence awareness.
Oh, okay. You didn't do it until I looked at the camera, but okay.
Man, I've been pretty quiet, man. That's not
to say, like,
that's
man.
not y'all know that's not really me. But what I was doing actually, I was really ingesting everything, man, digesting what you guys were saying. She was coming off of that. But I want to go ahead and take this conversation to something, man. If we want to attain goals, there were some 3 things that came to me as I was listening. Number 1, quit finding an out. And what I mean by that is we will give ourselves, subconsciously or otherwise, we will give ourselves an out from attaining our goal. She was making it a joke when she was saying, "Oh, but there's milk. I gotta go down there, but you know that it's on one end of the aisle, and you can simply go around the other aisle." No, I'm not calling her out like that. What I'm saying is, I'm trying to illustrate a point that we are always giving ourselves an out for the sin. And I'm saying sin because, of course, if I'm a follower of Christ, so I'm always relating stuff like that. So quit giving ourselves an out for the sin, or rather for the reason not to attain the goal. Right? Mm-hmm. Number two, and I'm not saying you could be Buddhist, Hindu, I don't care what you are, or this newfound thing that TikTok is going crazy with. These emerald tablets. You can be whatever y'all call yourselves. Find your higher power. For me, that's Yahweh. Mm-hmm. Find your higher power, because when nobody else can hold you accountable, you know that someone is. Mm-hmm. So find your higher power, right? Mm-hmm. And that higher power is going to keep you in line. It's going to keep you right there, because you're going to say to yourself, especially when you're trying to give yourselves outs, you're going to say to yourself, man, well, I can get away with this. I'm just going to have 2 more cookies.
Right.
I'm just going to grab 2 more cookies. But at the end of the day, this is not a game. Mm-hmm. If you don't get it together, you are going to die. Mm-hmm. And I'm not kidding. If you don't get it together, you're going to die. Some of these situations, I'm specifically talking about the situation of the diabetes. Specifically, if you allow this thing to get out of control and you don't rein it in, you are going to die, and it's not going to be pretty either. Right. So you can't play around with it. Mm-hmm. It's life or death. You ought to say you had enough cookies for life at this point. And I'm not trying to be harsh or anything, because I'm dealing with the same situation. But I have to tell myself, I've had enough good eating. I've had enough Chinese food to last 10 lifetimes. It's time to eat some high water diet. Become a watertarian, if I may. Right? Because at the end of the day, if you really want to sit down and say that I'm going to be here to walk my granddaughter down the aisle, or whatever the case may be, hopefully, prayerfully, you're not doing that. Her dad is around. But my point is, if I want to be around to even witness these things, then I have to take care of myself. Right. So these 2024 goals that everyone has starts becoming, you start realizing that it's not I just wish that I could get a motorcycle. No, it's life and death. Weight loss. Right. That's a life and death type of thing. When you talk about getting your finances together, with the economy as turbulent as it is, that can be a life and death situation. Because I promise you, there are a lot of homeless people out there tonight that will pass away due to how cold and frigid it is with this storm going across America. Right? And I don't want to get too sidetracked, but what I'm saying is we got to start taking these goals and start realizing that you're going to have to figure out a plan. Whether it's your plan, the 13-step plan, or whether it's the 3 steps I may have said. I don't know what I've gotten to so far, but whether it's what I've said, but create your own goals. Right. Create your own way of getting there. Analyzing a situation and responding to it. That's what I've been preaching all week. That's what I'm trying to push and instill in my son. I want you to be able to analyze and respond, not react. I want you to analyze and respond to a situation so that no matter what situation you may face, you may be able to either conquer that situation or survive it. Right? So right now we're talking about attaining goals. And we know that every goal, no matter what the goal may be, would be better attained if you broke it down. And at the end of the day, I don't care how you break it down, but break it down into smaller and smaller pieces that will get you to attain it. Before you know you got it. I'll say this. I have about 5, 6 bank accounts. I know the average person, you don't need but one. For whatever reason, I have about 6 bank accounts. Some of those are because I want to support a certain institution because they do certain things for the community. A goal of mine, and I wasn't going to share, but a goal of mine is to have at minimum my zero is actually $5,000 in each bank account. Not quite there yet. This has been a goal for what? Few years now. So how can I, and I want you guys to help me using what I said, how can I attain that realistically? Now, if you look at me, I'm about 320 something pounds, right? 320 something pounds.
Confirm or deny.
And that's, listen, and that's dry. I'm about 320 something. I'm not 320, but I'm close enough though, seriously. 320 something pounds dry. What can I do if I told a person that? What could I do that's attainable that would help me have extra cash in order to put away for the $5,000 goal? How can I realistically achieve that?
I would say, I mean, I think you was going to say something, but they have like the weekly challenges. You know, doing a weekly challenge, it can be for 1 week, you put $2 away. I mean, it's going to take a while, you know, for you to obtain that 5,000, but doing weekly, putting money to the side.
I'm sorry. Before we go on, let me add this. The average American household today is struggling to find any money anywhere. Right? They're literally, you can literally be making 100,000 and can literally be living check to check, behind check to check. You negative every week, behind check to check, just trying to make it right. So where you gonna find the money at? So the reason why I said I was alluding to my weight. You got something to say?
I was gonna ask when you ask what can I do to you know change things. I was gonna say what are your current habits now? Because I mean in order to understand how you're gonna obtain it, you got to figure out what you're doing now, because now it's what's getting you. You can come up with some grand idea how to make $1 million in a year, but if you don't change the habits that you have now, you're already setting yourself for failure. But so the first step to doing that though is acknowledging what those habits are. Good habits, bad habits, even your good habits. There's always a better way to enhance those habits.
Right.
So every day. I know for me, this is something for me that I have to do is every day just figure out a new habit. Yeah, like when I basically for example, when I'm in the gym, when I meet a new weight, you know, I can't be like, oh, I made it. No, I'm like, you got to keep going. Right. In order to grow, you got to grow. You know, the idea is telling you got to grow, but I can't keep pushing the same weight and expect to get here, but I'm still over here. So in order to get there, I gotta move as that space opens up.
Amen.
Yeah.
So 325 dry. Habits. Overeating for sure. When y'all walk through that door, I'm pretty sure y'all saw my beer cooler. More calories. Don't need them. Right? Another habit. Is it necessary? Not really. Right?
Right.
I don't want to cut it out. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying you start, like you were alluding to, you can start pointing to what it is in your life. So that leads me to, I don't know if I'm on number 3 or number 4.
It don't matter.
That leads me to self-inventory. Right? This is what I'm getting at.
Number 3.
Number 3, thank you. That leads me to self-inventory. Self-inventory says this. I'm going to look at myself in the mirror and I'm going to say, hey, self. Myself's going to say, and I had to say that. But, and then I'm going to say, hey, you are doing this, and this. Now, listen, guys. I know people don't like to be singled out. But if you can't be singled out by yourself, you need some true help.
Right.
You're going to have to look in the mirror, literally. Look in the mirror and say, hey, man, you know, Jay, you've been screwing up. All 2023, all you did every time you got off work was stop at McDonald's.
That's saving money right there.
Right.
That's saving money right there, right? All you did was sneak food so that your wife, because you knew your wife was cooking dinner, you would stop at Arby's. You would stop at Arby's and get a 4-piece jalapeno popper or 6-piece jalapeno popper
You know exactly.
with Bronco sauce.
He telling on himself.
Right.
Because I'm holding myself accountable as well. Tell your brethren, right? There's a reason for that.
Right.
So I'm telling you, all you did was instead of taking water that you asked for, that you said, hey, babe, I need what do you need? She say, I'm making my grocery order. What do you need? I need a pack of water. And instead of grabbing the water,
It's still sitting there on
it's still sitting there on the floor because I say, you know what I can do? I spend an average of $20 a day,
Wow.
literally on sodas and snacks, sitting in the truck, getting heavier and heavier. Right? Right? $20 a day. What's $20 a day? Time a 5-day work week is what? All day, every day, even in Egypt.
Wow.
I think their money may be different.
Like Cat Williams said, I don't care what you say. The Egyptians, every time you turn around, they been in Africa. They ain't never changed. As long as they in Africa, they black.
Okay.
So even they math is mathing. That's $100 a week.
Right.
$100 a week. Hear me out, because this is how you can solve these issues.
Right.
$100 a week. Take half of that. Say, okay, I can't do that, but I could darn sure break it down to $10 a day.
Right.
So at $10 a day makes it $50. How many 50s does it take to get to 5,000?
Without a calculator, I can't.
Should be 100,
drop
if I
the
ain't
one.
mistaken, right?
Add a 0.
Carry the
Right.
3.
Divided by 2.
Oh my gosh.
Minus the 1.
I'm pretty sure without a calculator, I'm pretty sure the answer is 100 weeks.
Right.
100 weeks. Right? Now, somebody say, man, that's a long time. Sometimes,
That's a long time.
man, I'm actually, you know what? More we progressing, we working on year 2, right? I'm actually getting better at this thing, man.
Oh, Lord.
This leads me to step number
4.
4.
I'm glad Don was giving count because I was like, whatever, just go ahead.
Step number 4.
Uh-huh.
Do I want to do that? This is number 4 because I got a number 5. No. Okay.
We're at 4.
I'm saying I know we had 4, but I'm saying I got another one that I could do as 5. But I think I actually
do the
want
other one as 5.
Just slide him in.
Let me do the other one as 4.
Oh.
Okay.
Let me jump to no, because y'all know I'll get lost.
Yes, we don't.
Step number 4. You're gonna have to realize that this is a game of perseverance. This is a game of perseverance. I didn't say I would get $5,000 this year. I got 6 damn accounts. I never said that I was gonna have 5 times 6. Which is, because this is the math magician.
Who, me? 5 times 6 is
With-
30.
I'm glad you knew because I didn't. $30,000. I didn't say I was going to find a $30,000 extra this year, did I?
I wish.
I said I had a goal. And my goal was simply, I want every account to have $5,000 in it.
Right.
Minimum. That is my new zero. I did what first? I came around, I started I started seeing where I could make cuts. I did self-inventory. I did all that. And now I'm at the point where I'm realizing, damn, this is going to take 2 years for one account. Well, damn it, if I cut out all that food I just added on 5 years to my life. So I attain the goal before I hit the grave. And if I hit the grave, damn it, it won't matter. So my point is, you're going to have to realize this is a perseverance. It is a race to the end. This is not something that you can simply wake up one morning and say, boom, it's going to have. It didn't take you that long to get in that damn debt, did it? It wasn't. It wasn't instant. Hold on. Let me. No. It can for some people. Right. Don't get it twisted.
That's what I'm about to say.
For some people, boy, you can get debt in 10 days, and you like, damn, how this happened?
Right.
But realistically speaking, more realistically, it didn't take you that long to that short of amount of time to get into debt.
Right.
It took you a long time. You did that over the culmination of some years.
Right.
So it's going to take you double that, more than likely, to get out of it. So you're going to have to realize that this thing is a perseverance. It is a race to the end. And my next reasoning is, my next reason is, and I ain't had a good title for it yet, but is learn how to take some losses. Learn how to take some L's.
And the L doesn't necessarily have to be. You don't have to actually label it as loss, because this if you're not used, especially like people who is just getting in, really starting to get started and whatever they're on achieving their goal, like certain words like kind of trigger them to be act negative to whatever they're actually trying to go to. So instead of using loss, use the word lesson, because that's exactly what it is. You learn from your L's that you make, whatever you consider that you failed at. It's not necessarily you failed. You just like, okay, you learned something.
Right.
What did you learn? Or as soon as whatever you find out that you learned, just take that information and then move it on to trial number 2. I mean, it might take 3 trials, it might take 4, however many it takes, but that consistency and is really gonna make a difference, because and that's why it's so important, like we were saying earlier, to take in those small wins, because those small wins is gonna get you to exactly where you need to be at.
Right.
But you have to trust the process. And if you don't trust the process, you'll never attain it. It's like one thing I've been learning, because I've been really working on my way again with God and stuff. He in a lot of ways he almost tells you like what your purpose is, and sometimes it's very specific in a certain role, or just overall in general you need to be this type of person.
Right.
But at the same time, yeah, God can just give it to you. But he's not going to do it, because what are you going to learn from that? You're not going to learn anything. You're just going to like, oh, I got it. But you don't know how to obtain it. So in a lot of ways, like God will put you in certain ways in life that brings you to different stages or different levels. You could look at it like a video game. It don't take you from level 1 straight to the end of the game. You have to build that skill within the game to understand how in the world you can even think and start to win.
Yep.
And that's the same thing when it comes to life. So that's why it's also so important to have God in your life and really obtain a healthy relationship, and you always go to Him first before you start wishing for these. Best thing to do is just to go to Him. Hey, like what do I do next? What do I need? Because if anybody knows anything better than we know ourselves, it's going to be God. Nobody else really knows, and if we're being completely honest, nobody truly cares either. That's another thing too when it comes to being worried about if this person or that person is going to appreciate what I'm doing, or is going to see the vision. As nobody cares. At the end of the day, whether somebody makes a comment or whatever, the next day they don't do something else, talking some BS that
Right.
They're not going to be in that position. So it's like, why when you gotta find a way to put it in their mindset to ignore that nonsense and the noise. That's what a lot of people, the noise. Get rid of the noise and just focus. Keep going. Just move. Just get tunnel vision.
Right.
You said that beautifully. You illustrated that very well. Yeah. That was basically what I was saying. So Ain't no need in doubling down and over preaching.
Definitely.
That's that for me.
Yeah. Well, I think we had a good little session. So, yeah.
All right,
So
man. Hey, man, thank y'all for tuning in to the off week. As my wife was trying to close, I'm going to throw the baton to her.
she was
No,
trying to
go
say
ahead.
something
You are
else,
so
but,
done.
I mean,
and so
you
sis,
just
and we are
cut her
5,
off.
4, 3,
No,
2, 1,
1,
and we're out. Because doggone it.